This is Morning Juice. Sports, insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
Attack and dominate. That's the plan on this Thursday. Tito, Jeff Thitoff, Bobby Carpenter, my left, right across from us, staring at us for the next 2 hours. Maybe more. Who knows? We'll see. Cody Wells. What's up, Bob? How you doing?
Doing well. You don't sound very good.
I don't?
No.
My throat, you mean? Like the...
Yeah, you sound more gravelly than normal.
That's the new image. I'm going for the Melissa Etheridge kind of thing.
Start smoking some lung darts.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to work at it. I'm just saying I'm going to let it happen just organically. Big show lineup for you today. 2 full hours here on YouTube, the Fan app, HD3. Download the show anytime. Catch us from 10 a.m. to noon on 10 TV Plus. Also on Facebook and Twitter. Join the chat if you'd like to on YouTube. Love to talk to you there. Albert Breer joins us today around 7:05. Yeah, Highness. It's a Brody Thursday with his NFL picks at 7:30. So big show lined up there. Lots of stuff going on with the NFL. Got a Hall of Famer on campus. We'll talk about that shortly. Let's see. Jackets host the Canucks tonight. The Cavs beat Philly last night, 133-107. OSU men. Go ahead.
Cavs are back on a roll.
Garland did get hurt, so.
What?
Yeah, maybe put a pin in that just for now.
They were on a roll.
How long? How bad of an injury?
That's angle. Do it, Bodie.
Put your gear on?
It's a long way from heart right now.
It is a right foot injury. So,
It's a flush
maybe
one.
put your gear on.
OSU hosts number 17 UCLA on Saturday. The Ohio State women,
What if he plays?
the 14th ranked team in the country, beats Penn State last night.
Oh.
So, lots going on there. There was a court storming. Stanford beat North Carolina,
Okay.
and I think Carolina's ranked 14th.
I didn't know Stanford put enough people in the seats for basically any sporting event.
I guess maybe storming's not the right word.
Dozens of them.
Yeah, there were tens of fans ran onto the court.
Like a hard rain. Sprinkling.
Wouldn't call it a storm.
Kind of like our snow this morning that we got.
Yeah. Well,
A dusting.
We have an alert?
Impact alert day.
It's all
Got
right.
one coming up Tuesday too. Just
Okay.
If I can, as I'm walking, if I come down with such force and the snow is so light that it actually moves before my foot hits the ground, which is kind of what we got going today, then I think that is the definition of a dusting,
that's fair.
which is probably about what their court storming looked like.
I have no beef with meteorologists because that's really, if you're going to have a beef with someone, you don't have meteorologists. I'm just saying, though, but I don't know who
They're
started
fear
it.
panders.
Okay, yeah, so I don't know where it started, Bob.
It started with their ability that people cling to all their stuff. I detached from meteorology a long time ago, and I just look at an app now. And it gives me everything that I need to know. Tell me the barometric pressure, wind, future stuff, and is it 100% accurate? No, but are they? No. So I'm not going to listen to somebody tell me about how bad it's going to be and how I need to stock up on non-perishable food items for an apocalyptic storm that never comes.
Okay, here's my question.
Even if it does, what are we talking about? 2 or 3 days tops? We're fine. And no storm weather out there is going to kill me. So maybe when I'm 85 years old and that's all I do is have to sit and watch the news and be scared about what's happening. But I have way more important things that are going on in my life.
No offense to 85-year-olds out there.
It's okay.
But, no,
It's
Bob.
my parents record and watch all the different news.
They do?
I go, you
What?
don't think that's unhealthy? Exactly, buddy.
This-
We like to
this
get a
turned into
variety of
something.
things. I go, you don't think that's moderately unhealthy?
That might be the most insane thing I've ever heard. in my life.
100%. I was back at home on Tuesday night, and then I'm like, what do you do? I'm like, oh, gosh, you're the one. So we watched one live, flipped to the next. She's like, we can get through the commercials
But you
quick.
sat there and watched it?
No, I was doing other stuff.
Okay.
I'm like, why are you listening to this? And then they're listening to one of, oh, my gosh, it was driving me nuts. My uncle's in town, and I forget what we were watching, some part about maybe the murdering of something was going on, the Ohio guy, the neurologist. that
Yeah,
killed-
his wife.
yeah. They killed somebody. I'm like, all right, so we watched that. And the second one,
Watch it again.
after we watched part of it again. And then they actually had, there was a story and they were talking about the riots in Iran and different things like that. And so my mom starts fast forwarding that. I go, hold on. This is actually like some geopolitical news that could have some impact on our life. Some dude, I don't care if he's from Columbus, Ohio. I don't give a damn if he's my next door neighbor. Him driving to Chicago to murder his ex-wife. I mean, okay.
If it's your neighbor, right?
Yeah, if it's your neighbor, I think.
If it's my neighbor,
Probably worth consideration, but
it is. All I need to know is his
proven,
name and what he did. I don't care about anything else. Just make sure. Now I know that I need to lock my door at night. I need to probably be ready to go when I'm sleeping. Okay? But outside of that, none of that crap has any bearing in my life. If the regime in Iran collapses or whatever, and like there's some sort of war, like there's things that could actually impact my life with this. There's economic factors that are impacted with this. There's geopolitical, there's travel implications. Like those things matter. Celebrity marriages and murder and crap like that doesn't impact me at all.
Okay. I can't remember, Bob. First of all, the news thing's going to
say I don't care about the weather in other places unless I'm traveling there.
So when did it become a thing with these advisories? Because
it's fear pandering to pull people in.
I'm trying to think of when it happened, like in the time span. Like, was it 30 years ago? Because I don't remember growing up ever hearing the words winter weather advisory.
Well, that's not a thing. It's a made up thing.
I agree that is. I'm saying, when was it made up? I know, but like that's the part. It's like
they have. What do they have? The level emergencies 1, 2, and 3. Those are the only things that are real.
But like
everything else is just somebody's opinion.
And even those are kind of...
Those are subjective, but at least those have some sort of official bearing to them.
Yeah.
The advisory, it's like, what does that mean? Somebody in a room that looks at
I got an email this morning.
Of course you did. And I had a conversation, and I asked, can I please be removed from those company emails?
Did you really?
That? Oh, I sent it out.
Oh, yeah?
Public, to everybody. Yeah. And then I got reprimanded.
No, about that?
Yeah. And they're like, you can't be doing. I'm like, why do I care about this?
Well, just remember, if you're ever driving in and it's foggy, turn your radio
down so you can hear the cars around you.
So you said
they could see.
I turn my lights off too, so I can feel the cars.
You've denounced meteorology.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a witchcraft.
Okay. Now, listen. I've seen people go online, like go on social media, and say, "Guys, I'm taking a break from Facebook. Please respect my privacy." Right? People do that.
I tried to do that with the weather alerts.
Okay, that's what I'm asking you,
but
Bob.
They wouldn't respect that.
Did you announce on social media that you are not paying attention to meteorologists anymore?
I've talked about it for years.
Okay, I don't know if I just made a formal announcement. Like if that's what you do,
like declaring bankruptcy.
Yes, I declare bankruptcy.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was the case or not. But what really bothers me, among other things,
let's get into it.
In November through February and sometimes March, I assume every day's kind of a winter weather advisory.
Yeah.
Because it's freaking winter.
It's a fair assumption.
You know, like in the summer, I think, you know what?
Well, then you have heat
advisories. I assume
it'll be hot.
You know what would be a good advisory if they gave me a heat advisory tomorrow? Like, it's so hot you might die outside.
Or if it's like, hey, 4th is coming up, might snow that weekend.
Snow.
Be prepared.
Really?
I
gotta pull my Jeep in the garage.
I want people. What I want though, Bob, and I think this is probably here's your loophole thing. This is what you should do: is ask the meteorologists here at the station to send an email when it's not winter weather advisory, when it's a non-advisory day. Let's just do that because I think every day.
Well, I haven't had very many advisory days because it's been so stinking nice. Like. It was getting cold last night. I'm like, all right, it feels like winter again. And I was literally walking in today. I'm like, what is today? It is the 15th of January.
Make it official,
man, we've got about really another month of this, and then usually like March, maybe 6 weeks, and then it starts to turn, and it's not that bad. So
I felt like I noticed it start getting light out a little bit more.
It
last
has. Well,
night.
the
1 minute a day. 1 minute a day.
The darkest day was the 22nd, 21st, 23rd, right there, whatever
December,
the
right?
solstice is. Yeah. So I go, we're 3 weeks in, man. We're gaining time, bud.
Michael in the chat says more snow outside than on Michael Irvin's Keys, maybe. That's pretty good.
I don't know about that. I would say there's more snow on Michael Irvin's Keys.
Did I see that he is starting a Netflix podcast called The White House?
Oh,
did I read that correctly?
Stories from the White House.
I don't know.
I don't know if that was a dream or if that really
entails. I don't know if that is Stories from the White House.
Hey,
if that's just the name of it.
Every day I wake up and I have to think to myself, did this really happen yesterday? Did I read this, or is this just part of my dream? I just came out of it.
Could be either.
All right, let's do Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
All right, Bobby, make me smarter.
It's going to be a tough task.
No, it's not. It's an easy task.
I think I'm up. Well, no, listen, just because you lack knowledge doesn't mean that you have the ability to learn. So
That's fair.
I mean, I can tell you things, but I can also tell my dog to walk. You know, like those things don't
lead a
always
horse
work.
to water.
Hold his head underwater.
Hold his head underwater.
Water
That'll
gets up
make
the
it drink.
nose. Yes. Stupid
Suck it
question,
up his
Tito.
nose.
Yes.
It is Thursday, January 15th, the 15th day of the year. 350 days remaining. 50 days from now, we'll be in the 200s. Doing pretty darn good about it.
Wait. 50 days from now, we'll be at 300. Okay, right, yeah.
We'll be cracking the 200s.
See, I learned something already. Go ahead.
This date, 1889. Coca-Cola is incorporated in Georgia. It was originally called the Pemberton Medicine Co. You know what?
Doesn't roll off the tongue quite as well.
No, it doesn't, but some of the stuff that they throw in there used to roll up Mike Orvin's nose pretty well. Did you go to rehab? Yeah, what'd you hurt? My dad went when he hurt his back. Hurt my nose. This day, 1892. It was a watershed moment in the life of Tim Hall. James Naismith published The Rules of Basketball.
Ooh, that's a good one.
My daughter was signed up for her Optimist team, and she goes, "Do you have the rules?" I go, "Yeah, there's probably what the rules are for the league." And she's like, "There's some of my friends they want to know the rules of basketball." I'm like, "We'll call up James Naismith." I don't know what to tell you. Got to dribble when you're
Put the
moving.
ball in the hoop.
Yeah,
That's all you got to do.
once you pick it up, you can't go anymore. Try not to touch the other person when you're guarding them. Ball in the hole. That's kind of it. This day, 1936, the first building completely covered in glass is completed in Toledo. It is a building that was going to be occupied by Owens Corning. So they call it the glass capital. There you go. This date, 19, what?
Toledo's they have the glass bowl, too, right?
Yeah.
At the stadium also? Yeah, okay.
They call it the glass capital.
I think it was a glass capital. I was trying to think of glass bowl. I thought it was Toledo. I wasn't sure.
This date, 1943, the Pentagon is dedicated in Arlington County, Virginia, as the largest landmass building in the United States. This date, 1967, the first Super Bowl, Green Bay over Kansas City, 35-10 in Pasadena, California.
On January 15th, 1967, the NFL Super Bowl era began.
Be proud of this game, and you can do a great deal for football today.
Vince Lombardi's Packers represented the NFL against Hank Stram's AFL champion Chiefs. Green Bay scored 21 unanswered points in the second half behind a dominant defense, and Super Bowl MVP Bart Starr. The Packers won the World Professional Football Championship trophy, renamed the Lombardi Trophy 3 years later to honor the Packers' legendary head coach.
Broadcast on two networks, NBC and CBS, both
Call that
broadcast.
simulcasting.
There we go. And at one point, I think it might have been started the second half or after a commercial break, the Packers kicked off, and I think NBC was not back live yet, so they redid the kickoff.
There you go.
Like, they did a kickoff, and then they redid it because one of the networks wasn't back yet.
Redo. It's your redo on that.
Yep.
This day, 1972, Don McLean's American Pie hits number one.
Do you recall what was revealed the day the music died? We started singing bye bye Miss American Pie.
There we go. This day, 1977, the Hotel California album is certified gold by the Eagles.
So I called up the captain.
Please bring me my wine.
Haven't had kind of spirit since, I don't know, 1969 maybe?
You
Still
think,
those voices.
what type of spirits do you think they have there? No wine.
No. Look at the pictures
just-
of those
maybe
guys
some liquor.
in the late 70s,
Yeah.
and you can tell they were leading a hard life.
Yeah.
Like they had gone.
Joe Walsh has told you all about it.
I know. I'm saying, look at the pictures. You can see like the way they look.
But forget the price.
Yes.
Actually, I think in 74, I didn't add this in here. Joe Walsh, that was when he replaced. Let me see where that is.
Was it Randy?
Joe Walsh, Bernie Leadon.
Bernie Leadon.
1976, the year before that, Joe Walsh came on. 1977, You Make Me Feel Like Dancing by Leo Sayer hits number one.
I'm in a spin, you know, shaking on a string, you know. You make me feel like
that sounds like a little banger. I never heard that before.
Oh, yeah. Leo could do it.
1978, big day for Bodie. Big day for our guy Randy, too. Not Watson, though. Super Bowl 12, the Dallas Cowboys over the Denver Broncos, 27-10. There you go.
In New Orleans, the Cowboys faced the Cinderella Denver Broncos and its Orange
MVPs
Crush
in that
defense.
game, Bob.
It was doomsday in the dome. Another day at the office for the defense. The Cowboys had buried Cinderella. They stole her handbag, crushed her corsage, and shattered her glass slipper. Craig Morton had always wanted to quarterback the Cowboys to a Super Bowl victory. On this day, sadly, he did. From the beginning of 1977 to the finish, the end result was inevitable. A world championship. Victory in Super Bowl 12.
I think that's the only time there were 2 MVPs in the Super Bowl.
How about them Cowboys?
Randy White, Manster, wore your number before you.
I wore his number, but sure.
I'm going to say he wore your number before you did, but yeah.
Wore
And
his
then
number,
Harvey Martin was the other one.
About Harvey Dent.
I wonder who was doing the narrating on that.
I don't know.
I was trying to
wasn't
pick
sure.
Is that Facenda? No?
No,
I don't think so.
That wasn't
No.
Facenda.
Okay.
I was an actor. I've heard his voice. I couldn't pin it. This day, 2009, U.S. Airways Flight 1549 lands in New York, but not in LaGuardia, not in JFK. Miracle on the Hudson with Sully Sullenberger.
Cactus 1539 hit birds to lost thrust on both engines returning back towards LaGuardia.
Cactus 1529, we can get it to you. Do you want to try to land 1913?
We're unable. We may end up in the Hudson.
Cactus 1529, turn right 280, you can land runway 1 at Teterboro.
We can't do it.
Okay, which runway would you like at Teterboro?
We're going to be in the Hudson.
I'm sorry, say again, Cactus?
We were descending at the rate, if you were in a hotel elevator, 2 floors per second. I knew it'd be a hard landing. I just didn't know how hard. I said, "This is the captain. Brace for impact."
I've never heard that audio like that before. I've never saw the movie, but I've heard the audio, the clear audio like that.
I've never seen the movie. I need to watch it.
It's good. Yeah.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Got Tom Hanks and Harvey
Yeah.
Dent landing that plane.
It's called Sully?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it called Sully? Is that what it is?
I believe
I'm
so.
pretty sure. Yeah.
Some birthdays today. We're on this date, 1929, with the great civil rights activist of all time, Martin Luther King Jr.
I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
There we go. Born on this day, 1948. Speaking of plane crashes, unfortunately took his life, Mr. Ronnie Van Zant. We don't have any. I didn't give that to you. I
No,
thought we had some
you
Leonard.
didn't mention the name.
I was going to get
No.
some Leonard Skinner on
Great
there.
pause for effect there.
It is. Because the next guy won the Super Bowl MVP on his birthday, the 8-time All-Pro and Super Bowl champ, turning 73, Mr. Randy White.
His name is Randy White. His nickname,
That's John Facenda.
Manster.
That is, yeah.
We call Randy White Manster around here. It's half man, half monster.
I've never been afraid of anything. And
Maryland?
Randy White
You go to school at Maryland?
scared me.
He's one of those guys, if you had to pick somebody to go down the dark alley with, he'd be probably the first guy I would say, yeah, let's get it on. Let's go.
He created a
Me and
war
said, let's get it
on
on.
every snap. He was mean. Boy, he was tough.
Randy White killed everybody every day, not just Sunday. He killed them in practice on Wednesday. He was out killing people on his off day on Tuesday.
If half of the stories are true about Randy White, he's still one of the scariest people I've ever heard of.
So, dumb question. I'm sure you've met him.
Yeah.
And he was a very angry player. Did he come across as a regular guy when you met him?
I met him in his 50s, so it seemed like a normal dude to me. There wasn't a whole lot of animosity. Usually guys kind of mellow out a little bit as they get older. He wasn't like playing at all. One of the best pound-for-pound boxers of all time, Bernard Hopkins, turning 61 today. 4-time Emmy winner Regina King turning 55.
You tell me to eat lima beans, I'll eat lima beans. You tell me this is the best we can get, this is all we can get.
All we can get?
Marcy, please, I'm talking with my
No,
Jerry.
no, listen. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna reject that shitty contract. You're gonna play out your existing shitty contract. And you're gonna go be a free agent next year. Come on, hey. Baby, this is us. You and me. We determine our worth. Baby, you are a strong, proud, surviving, splendid black man.
Oh, I love that. That's a good scene. Thank you for getting that, Bode. Drew Brees turning 47 today.
On the red zone at the Indianapolis 16. Set up screen to Thomas. Inside the 10. Thomas weaving at the 5, and he's in, and the Saints have taken the lead at the Super Bowl. Even closer in the second quarter, 2nd and goal. This time they've got the catch and the touchdown. Jeremy Shockey has a Super Bowl catch and a score, and the Saints have the lead.
I want to hand this trophy to the MVP of the Super Bowl and the MVP of our league, Drew Brees.
There you go.
Arizona Troy wants to know, Bob, did you ever meet Hollywood Henderson?
I did not.
He said he read his book, and it was, I mean, granted, Henderson was, he lived. He lived.
Isn't he dead now?
Yeah, he is. I'm saying he had a crazy life.
When he was here.
Yeah, but the very end was sudden.
I want to say, is that Channing Crowder's dad?
Channing Crowder's dad, Hollywood Henderson?
Just give me a second. I'm fairly.
Really? That would surprise me. I never knew that, Bob. I just remember Hollywood. Yeah, he was. Suspended, I think, for drugs by the NFL at one point.
Wow.
But
we've all been there.
All the great ones.
That's fair.
All the great ones have been suspended for drugs. If not, then what are we talking about? Pitbull turning 45 today.
Took my life from negative to positive. I just want y'all to know that. And tonight, let's enjoy life. Pitbull, Naya, Neo. That's right.
Never mind. His dad was Randy Crowder, who lived a pretty aggressive lifestyle as well. Randy Crowder, Channing's dad, played for the Dolphins.
Oh, okay.
During his NFL career, it's amazing he didn't sit out more time for this. Him and his Dolphins teammate Don Reese were arrested after trying to sell 1 pound of cocaine to an undercover policeman.
1 pound? That's a misdemeanor.
Maybe in Miami back in that time.
You get arrested if you don't sell cocaine in Miami, I think.
And then finally, Deebo Samuel turning 30 today. Some holidays and observances. It is Humanitarian Day. It is Bagel Day. National Fresh Squeezed Juice Day. Pothole Day, and Wikipedia Day. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date. Thursday, January 15th, the 15th day of the year. 350 days remaining in this 2026.
Well done as always, General. Troy also brings up, and I did not realize this, Hollywood Henderson won the lottery twice. He had a $28 million jackpot and then had a $50,000 jackpot later on.
Nice.
I did not know that about Hollywood Henderson. But that's our Hollywood Henderson moment now for today. I guess that
was our cocaine minute.
That was our cocaine minute. There we go. Coming up next, we've got a Hall of Famer on campus at Ohio State. We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
You know a thing or two about the moments in life that matter. You've seized those moments to embrace joy, accomplish great things, and build meaningful relationships. Is it time now to sit back and reflect on a life well lived? Maybe. Or maybe there's more to be done. Maybe this is the most important moment you've encountered yet. By volunteering with AmeriCorps Seniors, you can seize the moment, lend a hand, and get back more than you give. We connect you to local volunteer organizations with opportunities that fit your schedule and match your interests. Through AmeriCorps Seniors, you can support people in times of need and make your community stronger. You can become a companion to your older neighbors, brightening their days with friendship. You can even become a mentor for young people, serving as a role model and enriching their lives. Are you ready to seize your moment? Visit AmeriCorps.gov/yourmoment and get started today.
Around the world, Children International and friends like you are giving children in poverty a chance to grow and thrive, to be healthy, to succeed in school, and achieve great things. How do we do it? In the best way possible, by helping ensure access to healthcare, nutrition, and educational opportunities. And most importantly, by empowering youths and their families to get out of poverty and into employment through life skills, computer, and job training. The very tools they need to break the cycle of poverty and build futures full of promise. Because every child deserves a chance to realize their full and best potential. Learn more about how Children International is empowering children and families by going to children.org today. That's children.org.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. And you think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a bright, focused foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
My life is a series of awkward moments, and I just had one out there, Bob. Go out to fill up the water.
Yeah.
Who do I see?
One of the meteorologists.
Yes.
What's wrong with that? I'll tell everybody that to their face. I've talked to him about it before.
I felt...
So all you do is fear pander to old people.
So she's on the air.
About that?
Meredith...
Garofalo.
Yes, Garofalo. Thank you. And... So she obviously doesn't know that we were besmirching meteorologists and the whole science of weather.
It's nothing to do with the science of weather.
Well, their pursuit of the science of weather.
No, it has nothing to like. It's just the delivery mechanism with the intensity of which they describe things.
So I did not. Obviously, she doesn't listen to the show because she's on the air. She's out there getting coffee. But I'm just saying, like, it felt weird for me because I was just. How do I put it? I was just questioning your profession on the air and how it's done.
Yeah, it's okay. Why do you feel awkward about that? I don't say anything. I try not to say anything behind somebody I wouldn't say to your face. In fact, I treated her too good.
I know.
Roof over her head, fed her. I never lied to her face.
Laurinaitis, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Have you talked to him since the announcement? Did you text him or congratulate him? I didn't know if you've talked to him and since it came down.
No.
Okay.
I mean, he's out. They've got stuff going on right now.
A little bit they do. I know, kind of busy. A little bit.
All the portal things going on. So
yes.
I didn't even know he was up for it. Congratulations to him. That's awesome. Super excited for my man, James. Very well deserving. I think he's the fourth linebacker to get in there for Ohio State, so that's great.
He's the fourth linebacker?
Yeah.
Who are the other three? What, Spiels? Did Pepper get in? Merrick, maybe?
I think Merrick is in. Hold on, let me look at
Gradishar, probably. Probably Merrick, Gradishar, Spiels, right?
I believe that is the case. Let me check.
How did
here.
Pepper Johnson not get in that yet? Pepper Johnson was a hell of a linebacker here.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm not the one that's picking who goes in there. Cousineau went in 2016. Okay. Spielman went in 2009. I think Merrick. Gradishar went in 98. And
so Merrick's not in there.
Merrick is not in.
All right.
You know who the all-time leading tackler is at Ohio State?
Do I know who it is?
Yeah.
Let me think about this now. I'm trying to think if was it a 5-year guy or a 4-year guy?
What does a 5-year guy mean?
Like did he play more than 4 years? It was somebody who's current that played more than. I was trying to think.
No.
Was it, okay. Then I would guess it's probably Merrick.
It is Marcus Merrick. At least that's who it. I don't think anybody's broke it recently. they don't play the same way anymore, so it's really hard. It used to always be the middle linebacker got all the tackles. Now it's people who make most of the tackles are in the secondary.
Do you know the most tackles you ever had in a game for Ohio State?
I don't know, 12, 13.
Okay, somebody like there were games I remember when I think Merrick had 24 tackles.
I think AJ had 20 against Wisconsin.
Did he?
Yeah, because all those games, games like that. Well, it was big because the game was condensed, and so the same people made the tackles over and over again. When you play teams that spread the football all over the field,
right?
Nobody's going to have that many tackles because you just can't cover 53 yards wide.
Sonny Styles announces he is headed to the NFL draft.
Ooh.
Not surprised by that. I mean, he's going to be so good. I think.
I guess I look at that. I thought he was done with his eligibility. I guess he probably could have come back, but
right.
For a guy who started 3 years here, and sat really another year. I mean, he was here for 4 seasons. What do you want from the guy?
No, I'm just saying he feels to me like a guy who he fits the mold of what a linebacker. Like he's a guy who can play at 2 or actually probably 3 different levels. You know what I mean? If they want to use him that way, deploy him that way.
Yeah, he's a versatile player. I mean, he grew up playing safety, played nickel for a year when he was here. Very, very, I guess 2 years because he was didn't play his freshman year much. And then played linebacker his last 2, and he's gotten big enough and physical enough that he can walk up and do some edge stuff on the ball. He still has to develop that a little bit, but that's not a big deal. I mean, he can do so much, so it's incredibly impressive as it is.
Are you at all worried about the defense for next year?
I think they'll be fine at linebacker. I just need to continue to see who they're going to add in. I'm a little worried about the interior of the defense with the tackles, but we'll see. The portals, there's still guys out there in the portal. And they have Matt Patricia. I don't think the defense will be as good as it was this year, which was historically good. But I still think it'll be a top 20 defense in the country. And with that, as long as you're a top 20 defense, that's good enough to win a national championship.
Do you think there's a timeline on when we need a definitive statement about Patricia?
What does that mean?
Do you think there needs to be a time where it's...
you think we need? You said we. So what does that mean for us?
That Ohio State...
You will feel better about it?
Oh, it's always about me, Bob. But I'm saying, but is there do you think there is or should be a time when it's hey, we need to know by February 1st if Patricia's here next year? How late can it go before it becomes... I don't want to say an issue, but a distraction maybe, I guess?
Distraction for what? The off-season lifting?
Off-season, the portal, the off-season planning for next year. I didn't know.
Portal closes Friday.
I understand, Bob. I'm asking, though, if you think that there is a So
you're asking if there should be a deadline placed on his announcement of whether or not he's going to come back.
I don't know, deadline. I don't want to make
Well, that's what you're saying.
Is there a time when it's hey, we'd like to know by now?
That's okay. So what is that? If you tell somebody,
ball, right?
No, not when it is. If you say there's something I need to know or would like to know by this point, what is that?
I wouldn't say I'm not saying a hard deadline. I'm sure Patricia could announce in March.
Maybe it's a flaccid deadline.
Okay, flaccid deadline's a better word there.
We could know sometime around this general time.
Because I know that there's obviously NFL interest in him. And so I didn't know, Bob, if you think it's important for Ohio State to be able to...
Well, my thing is I'm asking you what is the pending issue that you need to worry about?
Just as you prep for next year, get things ready for next year, and as you're constructing the roster, I know, like you said, the portal's going to close.
You're trying to get the best players you can.
Right, you are. I understand that. I'm saying I didn't know if you thought that there was something like that needed to happen, by a certain date.
Probably by spring ball then.
Okay, so it could go that long, wouldn't be an issue.
I don't think that it's going to go that long because the hiring cycle doesn't work like that. I'm saying that if you think he's the best defensive coach in college football, and probably one of the best defensive coaches in all of football, which is what I believe.
Yeah.
You're going to put a deadline on a guy, and what if he says, well, I can't make it by that point? You say, all right, shake his hand and say thank you. I mean, if you're going to ask somebody to do that, you have to be prepared for the other side of it.
I was just thinking logistically, Bob.
That's my point is, if you're saying we would like to know by this point,
right?
You got to be prepared that if you don't know by that point, and he can't tell you by that point, then are you ready to move on?
I would not say ready to move on. I'm saying,
well, then why are you asking him when it matters?
Because I'm asking if you believe that is in place, where it's hey, I know you're going to have your NFL jobs, but it'd be nice if we knew by this time what you're doing. Because then Ohio State's got to hire a DC if he leaves.
Yeah, that's true.
And so
are they going to be able to hire someone better than him?
No, I don't believe they will. I don't just based on what the team looked like this year.
Is he like
all that
holding
talent.
him hostage because he wants more money or something like that?
So I'm just saying though, Bob, if Ohio State's got to hire a new DC,
I understand that, but my point is, would you rather ride it out with him and whatever that looks like, or go just hire a new DC when you feel like maybe it's uncomfortable because the hiring's taking a little bit long and you'd like to have certainty and clarity on situations? The reality is, like, you don't need to know until spring ball. Now, that's a crazy time away.
Sure.
But, I mean, planning and putting stuff together for the season, yeah, things are going to become clear in the next couple of weeks as the NFL head coaching jobs are all filled up and they hire their staffs and what that looks like. So it's going to take care of itself. There's not going to be an NFL job that comes open in April, generally.
Right.
So then that's not an issue.
I wonder if just like you mentioned, the fact if they had to hire somebody new, spring ball. I know you're being a bit facetious there when you said it that way because it's not going to be spring.
You're just saying, do you need to know? So that's essentially putting a deadline on somebody. And Matt Patricia's, I think, has earned the right and the opportunity. And especially, he's not. I guarantee you, he's very honest with Ryan about the conversations that he's had and what has transpired, and they've talked about all that. He probably keeps him up to date and abreast with everything, so he knows. So it's not like one day he just walks in and be like, "Hey, you know what? This team offered me a job." What do you mean? I didn't know they're offering. No, like as jobs come open, they talk. These guys have called me. These guys have called me. Whatever it is. But I mean, I'm willing to wait on a guy like Matt Patricia because he's not just any coach. And by the way, like, you're Ohio State. If you want to go get a coach from another team, you can do that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you could have your pick of those, but Patricia's
the main pick.
Yeah, he's
the guy that you would want.
Yeah.
So, like, saying, is there a time that you need to know by? I'm not telling him that. Just keep me up to date with everything going on, and when you know, let me know for certain if you're coming back and what else is out there.
Yeah, so I'm not saying, Bob.
Ryan probably has a list of guys that he would call should something occur. He's a smart guy. He's a planner. He's very prudent, and so you're ready to go in case something happens. But you're prepared in case it does, but you're not planning for that to be the case.
Like, I didn't know, Bob, if it was something where it could be at all detrimental.
So that's my point. Is I'm asking how it would be detrimental.
I don't know the inner workings behind it. What goes on right now? You said the lifting thing, but I'm sure
they're doing is working out.
But the coaches are still planning for things. They're formulating ideas for next season. I would think it happens on a daily basis, right?
When you say formulating ideas, what do you think? What do you envision? I'm just curious.
That's fine. Yeah, I think game plans. I think personnel
game plans. Game planning?
No, wait, I'm not saying specific games. Let me make sure I get this the right way. I'm talking about specific strategies for the team based on the personnel for the upcoming season.
So I'll counter that with this. Sure. Specific personnel.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have their whole roster together yet.
No, and you're right. That we'll know more, obviously, after the portal closes. We'll know more about it there. But Patricia, I'm sure, has his own specific philosophies on defense.
And they put probably... I guarantee you the coaches have probably talked about 90 to 95% of them, and the players probably executed 75 to 80% of them last year. So you have everything in place. It's not like he had just got here. So everybody kind of knows it. You know the terminology, you know the systems.
Right.
Then you want to wait and say, hey, okay, what does our team look like? Who's here? What can we ultimately do with the players that we've been given or that we were able to procure, if you will?
Sure. Because I know that, he has a different strategy, different ways he employs the defense than like Knowles did. You know what I mean? So, and if you bring in a new one, that will change also.
You'll have to change all that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You're not putting a deadline on it because you don't want it to change.
God, I hope he's back.
I know. Well, don't set artificial deadlines on people that don't need to be set, and then that'll help them.
I don't think they're going to listen to my deadlines, Bob.
I understand that, but you said and I was just trying to figure out why you think that would even need to be done. If you want him back, and it's him, space, whoever else you could get, you're going to give him as much leeway and not knowing this is like a Brett Favre retirement situation that's dragging into training camp.
Right.
Like he's told you he's wanted to be here. There's other opportunities that are probably out there that could entice him, like an NFL head coaching job. But a lot of the other stuff, I don't know if that supersedes his desire to be here. And he's probably told Ryan, these are the jobs I would leave for, and that's pretty much it.
Coming up next, the former Ravens coach seems to have his new gig. We'll do that with Quick Hitters Morning Juice.
Hey guys, 13-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion Jason McCourty here. And I'm the Innovation Ambassador at FAIR, Food Allergy and Research Education. I would say the most challenging thing as a parent of a kid who has a food allergy is probably the ignorance that I myself had in the beginning. I didn't know what anaphylactic shock was. I didn't know the dangers, let alone the things that she needed to be able to have a normal life. When you go to drop your kid off, on every single time in the beginning, we'd have to go through everything she was allergic to. Preparation is everything. And me, for playing football for 13 years, it was all throughout the course of the week. It's getting ready for game day. When you're on the field, you're playing for your fans. At home, you're playing for your family. My playbook, read labels, keep it allergy friendly, and have an epinephrine nasal spray as a backup plan. Because when my family's safe from food allergens, that's the real victory. Visit foodallergy.org to learn more.
Ms. Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are what we call amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Millions of kids go to schools that don't have funding for books, computers, and so much more just because of where they live. You can help change that. Donors Choose is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You choose which supplies to support. You could provide first graders with pencils and paper, or other students with their first chapter books, help a music class get a guitar.
You could even supply a classroom like mine with a science project. But what you're really giving is the moment that sparks a brighter tomorrow.
To learn more, please visit DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org. Choose students. Shape the future.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together,
established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
We built a brand new studio just for Bobby, and Tito has already ruined it just by being here.
I'm pregnant.
This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice, Tito, Bobby, and now this guy, the star of the show.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
All right, fellas, happy Thursday. Get my quick hitter sheet pulled up here. We'll start with the NFL. Some sort of breaking news, almost breaking news. Probably will be breaking news at some point in the next 24 hours here. The first domino of the 2026 NFL coaching carousel has fallen, or should be here soon, as the New York Football Giants and John Harbaugh are working to finalize a deal that would make him the 23rd head coach in the franchise's history. Harbaugh, he was the surefire best candidate on the market. I think most people would agree with that, especially with the news that Mike Tomlin is not expected to coach next season. How about this? Since 2016, which was the first year in the post-Tom Coughlin era, for the G-men, they have just 2 seasons above 500. They made the playoffs twice in those 2 years. That is it. In that same time span, Harbaugh, he's had 7 seasons above 500. The 3 that he wasn't above 500, 8-8, 8-9, 8-9. So not exactly. He's on a little bit of a Tomlin streak there. And out of those 7 seasons above 500, he made the postseason 6 times. So kind of opposite ends of the spectrum for the 2 franchises. Carp, no question, a strong hire here for New York. Do you think, I was curious, I wanted to get your thoughts on this. With John Harbaugh going there, I don't know where it ranks amongst the best jobs. Baltimore's probably the best. He obviously just got fired from there, so he wasn't going back. How much of an impact do you think it played just the fact that Harbaugh could be the head coach of the New York Giants versus, we'll say, the head coach of the Titans Browns, etc. Like, remove the talent on the roster. You just say the name New York
like
Giants.
The big brand,
like,
blue,
yeah.
like a blue historical program.
Yeah.
I think it matters more the structure of the organization.
Okay.
And the fact that the Mara family owns it, they're more stable than what we've seen. Although Cleveland, I mean, they rode it with Stefanski for a while. Tennessee's been kind of a hot mess. I mean, the Giants have always been one of the flagship programs in the NFL, and a lot of that has to do with their ownership and their corporate structure. And so I think that was probably is more appealing to him than, you know, maybe other jobs that could be a little more talented on the roster. But you think, like, they've got a lot of good young players on that Giants team, you know, from Jackson Dart, Malik Neighbors. I think that they've got the structure to be pretty good if you can just continue to fill it out and, you know, put a good program in place, consistent program.
Having a quarterback on a rookie deal is also, I got to believe, very attractive for a coach, because when you look at the structure, and I know Harbaugh there was the reports, and we can ask Breer about this coming up, about his demands or what he wanted to have the $20 million salary, $10 million annual salary for his assistants, hire the GM, and have full say over the roster. But if that's all the case, if some of that happened or all of it happened, whatever, with the Giants, the fact that you've got a quarterback, a starting quarterback on a rookie contract, I should probably preface it and qualify it by saying starting quarterback. You can have quarterbacks on rookie contracts that don't start, and that doesn't help you out. But if you have a starting quarterback, one you can count on. The thing with Jackson Dart, when I watched him play this year, he's going to have to adjust his style. He can't think like a running back.
Yeah.
You know, he can't
He's
take
gonna
these
get
hits.
killed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many concussions.
It felt like a lot.
It did
I don't
seem
know
like quite a
if
few.
it was maybe he just had one or two, and he missed a lot of time with those one or two.
Yeah.
What happens if he plays?
Yeah, wow. Do you remember that Bengals Bills
Not
game?
10 years from now. 50.
That one he took where he took on the defender was going out of bounds. Was that which game was that? Was that the Patriots
Here's the
game?
thing.
Wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
It's
What quarterback over the last 10 years has been the most closely associated with running the football in the NFL?
Well, I'd probably say either Lamar or Josh.
Okay.
But
which one of those guys played for John Harbaugh?
Yeah, Lamar.
So
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's safe to say that he might have experience with this situation.
Yeah, true. What Josh Allen's done with his legs, even Trevor Lawrence, what he's done with his legs, are all huge advantages for those teams. But then I also go back and look at RG3 and how it affected him. And I always admired the way Peyton Manning and Tom Brady were smart enough to. I don't remember them.
Neither of them could run. They're both stiffs.
No, I understand. But they were very even stiffs though, Bob. They were good at avoiding contact.
I think Lamar's pretty good at that too.
Lamar's great at avoiding
like Jackson
contact.
Dart just needs to learn.
He tried to run into people.
Yeah, like
you
when
go watch Aaron Rodgers run. He ran a lot in his career. How often did he really get hit?
But you got to get down or get out of bounds.
100%.
And unless it's 3rd and 8 in the NFC title game, just punt.
Yeah,
like if you can dive for the first down and take a knock, or just get out of bounds, just get out of bounds, man. Like it's
live to
a
fight
long
another day.
season
Yes,
and it's
it
a
is.
long career.
Yeah, and I think I can't remember who was I heard recently on the radio on a different, not obviously not our show, but although sometimes you might wonder if I listen on our show, but they brought in a baseball manager to teach their quarterback how to slide.
Yeah,
and like how important that was.
Yeah, you would think it'd be so simple.
Because RG3
but if he never played baseball. I guess
Who was it that sucked the slide? It was RG3.
Yeah, RG3's was awful at it. But then this guy, I think he was with the Jets or Giants, but and I can't think of who it was. But anyway, he was talking about how they brought in Joe Torre, I think it was.
Daniel Jones?
To teach them how to slide, teach his quarterback how to slide. Actually, I think it was Sanchez, so it'd be the Jets.
How to not run into the rear end of your offensive
That
line.
also, but yeah, I think, and I think that Rex brought him in, and they brought him in to teach Sanchez how to slide, so he would have a better understanding of it, and they said it helped out immensely. But yeah, Dart can't take the hits, but it's a great. Let's go back to this. It's a great hire by the Giants, so to get him in there, and I do think they've got a lot of young talent on cheap contracts. And so I think this will work out well for them. And I know now brother Jim gets his wish because he said he wants John in the NFC and not the AFC because he's that good of a coach.
Fair enough. Legs feed the wolf, gentlemen. Some college football / NFL draft news here. We hit on this a good bit yesterday, and then he made it official on Thursday afternoon. Oregon quarterback Dante Moore is returning to Eugene for his senior season. He told SportsCenter, with this decision, mainly all my life has been just about being as most prepared as I can for any situation I go into. And when it comes to me making my decision, I just want to do what's best for my situation, especially as quarterback. That was kind of a whole lot of nothing there, but nevertheless, only 20 years old, Bob. Or actually, Tito, let's go to you on this one. Only 20 years old, has just 20 starts under his belt. I was kind of reading 25 as kind of a line of demarcation where the NFL likes you to get past that. He'll certainly be over that. He'll be into the 30s after next year. And the Oregon Ducks, they'll be a national title preseason favorite for sure. They got to stop getting blown out in those CFB games, but Moore coming back is big news for him, and I think it's probably the smart decision too.
It probably is, and we talked about did the Ravens-Steelers outcome affect if Harbaugh or Tomlin stays in their current jobs or whatever? And I wonder if they beat Indiana and they're playing for the championship, is he still coming back? Because
that's fair.
He had a really good season statistically. It's just that
bad semifinal game.
Yes. And that's why I wonder, if it's a different outcome, does he make a different decision?
Yeah.
Because you were talking about one more game. If they lose that game and he plays well, doesn't have the picks and all of that, would it have changed if he's coming back or not?
Maybe. He was going to be the second quarterback off the board regardless.
Right.
That is true, yeah.
So I don't know if maybe winning a national championship is something else you put in that bucket that helps you be able to leave. But the reality is, Bill Parcells' old rule for quarterbacks being drafted was you wanted 30 starts. And that's, kind of not a hard number. He would like to get close to that. Really a full 2-year starter.
Yeah.
Started 5 or 6 games at UCLA, got redshirted last year. Ultimately then starts this year and played really well, but he's only in the high teens, like you said. He's got a lot of learning, a lot of growing he can still do. This is the smart decision for him.
Yeah, I think
it's. I
agree.
He would have been the second quarterback taken, but would he have been prepared to be able to go out there and play? That's the question I always ask people. And I've had this conversation with guys at Ohio State when they're going to leave. We go, can you still get better? And now, especially because you're getting paid. I'm guessing Dante Moore is getting probably in excess of $6 million, so it's not like he's coming back for free. And with that, he's going to get a good amount of money. He's going to continue to develop. He'll be able to develop as a leader on the field, schematically, all of those different things. So just have a lot more reps, and that's only going to help him once he gets to the next level. Now, can you get hurt? Can things happen? Yeah, there's negative things that could transpire. But I think for the holistic development of his career, this was the prudent move, even though it's something that a lot of people if they told you you're going to be a top 10 pick, not many guys would turn that down.
As long as he doesn't get hurt, though, and I know progress isn't linear, but I think it's safe to assume that he kind of continues to get better through next season. Even if he isn't the second quarterback off the board, it's really hard to imagine him not still being at least a top 5 pick.
Yeah, see, that's
I
the
know
thing.
next year's quarterback class is a little more loaded at the top. As of right now, obviously a lot of things can change. Yeah. But even then, so he was going to be the second pick probably this year. It's really hard to imagine him still not being 3, 4, or 5 next spring.
Yeah, I mean, if you can look at it 2 different ways. So, yeah, his chances of being higher than the second quarterback taken, I think, are pretty slim for next year. You know what I mean? It's with that class coming through, he'd have to really...
Who's the best quarterback in that class?
The best one in that class, or who will be the first one drafted? I think that's 2 different questions. I think, depending on what Arch Manning, depending on what they do, they could be the first 2 taken off the board, I believe.
Well, then who do you think the best is?
I think the best. I think he's probably the best. Dante is. I think he's probably the best. But I'm not saying it doesn't necessarily mean the first quarterback taken, though. You know what I mean? Just because they don't. I don't think just because you're the best quarterback, it doesn't mean you get taken number 1 overall or as a first quarterback.
What do you define as best then?
Well, I would think there's certainly there's size. You have to look at that, how tall the guys are, how big the guys are.
He checks all the physical boxes.
How tall is Dante Moore?
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head.
He's not short.
You think he's taller than 6'2"?
Do you need to be much taller than 6'2"?
Well, in today, who are the most
6'3"?
He's 6'3". Okay, that's fine. 6'3", 206.
6'3", 206.
That
was my poor Mel Kiper.
That was good. Yeah, that was a good one, though. I'm just saying, though, Bob, I think that as we've seen in this past
I'm just
season,
trying to figure out what your delineation is between best and highest drafted.
Well, I think that Arch Manning's name will have something to do with it.
No one's drafting him because of his name.
I would
promise you that.
Do you think it breaks ties? If you think, hey, Arch Manning and Dante...
I don't think it's going to be a tie right now.
Maybe not right now. I'm talking about in another year, though, because everyone I shouldn't say everyone, a lot of the media going into last year said Arch Manning's your Heisman Trophy favorite.
How many of those media members have a draft selection?
Probably none of them.
Exactly.
Bob. Probably. I'm guessing.
None of them is the answer, and most of them don't know how NFL draft selecting works. So they see a guy named Arch Manning, a guy who sat for a couple of years, has a famous last name, supposed to be rated really high by, quote, experts, and so, yeah, why wouldn't he be the number one overall pick? His uncles were.
His uncles were, yes, and his grandfather,
but people evaluating that don't care about that.
I'm just saying that if right now we would all assume that if Dante comes out, he's the second quarterback taken. Fair?
This year?
Yes.
Yeah,
right
I
now,
think Mendoza is better than him.
I think Mendoza's better than him also. I agree with you on that. But right now, where would you put him for next year with the class?
I'm not ranking any of those guys next year. I would definitely rank him ahead of Arch Manning.
Okay. Ahead of Julian?
To project, if those guys were drafted today, I would take him ahead of Julian. How about next year? Well, that's like, I mean...
So he's
taking
asking
me
a
to
risk.
pick the winning lotto numbers.
No, he's taking a risk by coming back. That's all I'm saying. He might not be the second quarterback taken next year. I think his chances of being the second quarterback taken this year, we all agree it'd be 100% he'd be the second quarterback taken.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, as we sit, none of us would say, yeah, 100%.
Which is more important?
He's the first quarterback or second quarterback taken next year.
Being the second quarterback taken or having a more successful NFL career?
Oh, no doubt about it, Bob.
Okay, well, that's what I'm just telling you.
I know. I'm not saying he's making the wrong decision. I'm just saying that mathematically, as we sit here logically and talk about it, the three of us, although we just said he would be the second quarterback taken this year no matter what,
yeah,
none of us would say next year he's the first or second quarterback taken no matter what.
I don't think you could say that about anybody.
That's fair.
With any position.
So that's all I'm saying is he's taking a risk, Bob, by doing it.
Of course.
That's all. I'm just saying it's a risk. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying he's making a bad decision.
I would say he's investing in his career.
Could very well be the case, yes. Anthony Richardson's the last guy I thought of that had very few starts that came in and was like, oh, yeah, you can't have...
Yeah, Trubisky only started a year, right?
How did old Maserati Mitch do?
We're kind of over two. Is there anybody else? I'm trying to think of...
It's coming and played not much? No.
Yeah. Even guys like... Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the younger quarterbacks. I mean, I feel like May started for a couple years.
Yep,
Jaden Daniels played a lot of football. He played at two schools.
Yep.
Yeah.
So did Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix played at two schools, and he played a ton.
Yeah.
There's definitely... Like you said a minute ago, Bill Parcells had his number. It may not have to hit that, but... I mean, Dante Moore right now... Yeah, exactly. He has 20 starts. Next year, he'll have at least... Assume he doesn't get hurt, at least 32.
Right.
And realistically, with Oregon, that could be, 34, 35 pretty easily.
Yes.
So
I agree. Coming next, Albert Breer joins us. We'll do that. Morning Juice.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. You don't want to start the new year off hurting. You don't want to start off the new year getting surgery. You don't want to start off the new year dealing with trying to plan something out into the future. What you want to do is get healthy. So what you want to do is go to my friends over at QC Kinetics. Dr. Tesner and his team, the medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus, they can deliver regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair the areas that are causing you pain. Those achy knees, hips, back, shoulders, whatever it is, they can help you get ready. So instead of those invasive operations, it's going to sideline you all of the early year. Go check out our friends at QC Kinetics and see if they can help you today. Imagine moving better, being stronger, planning your year, doing what actually you want to do. So don't wait. Call 380-228-4544. That's 380-228-4544. They have offices located in Dublin and Gahanna, and they are ready there for your free consultation. So go check them out today. Bobby Carpenter here with the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. In football, a quarterback needs protection, time in the pocket to make the big play. In business, your pocket is your cash flow. Without the right protection, pressure can come fast. A great banking partner is like your O-line, pancaking your problems to keep you marching down the field. Here's Chuck Moore, CEO, and Travis Sanders, president of Riverside Bank of Dublin, on how they help local businesses protect the pocket.
Thanks, Bobby. At Riverside Bank, we help you guard what matters most with cash management, flexible credit solutions, and fraud protection that keeps your business upright and moving forward.
That's right, Chuck. Because whether you're running a small shop or leading a regional enterprise, protecting your pocket is how you stay in the game. Come see us at Riverside Bank, and we'll help you play to win. Look for our new branch location at Bridge Park in 2026.
Tune in every day for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Visit their office at 6300 France Road in Dublin or online at riverside.bank.
Hey Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town, the opportunity to work alongside them as partners? Whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area and will help you reach your goals. So whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them at 6300 France Road. Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We'll get Breer on here shortly, talk to him from MMQB and get his take on what's going on. I'm curious what the next job is that will be filled as far as head coaching jobs in the NFL. I haven't heard much about anything else.
Yeah, I don't feel like I have either. And Harbaugh was the best candidate.
Right.
So maybe...
Yeah. Now
other teams were late waiting on that one to fall. Yeah,
that sounds about right because he was the guy that everybody wanted.
Yeah, I know
Bo joked around. He goes a little bit more like Step Brothers. He's like, "I'm going to interview you."
Yeah,
right.
And I think he talked / interviewed with Atlanta on Monday, if I'm not mistaken, and he was set to meet with the Titans.
Right.
And the Giants said, actually,
yeah,
why don't you go ahead and cancel that because we'll go ahead and hire you right now.
Let's bring Albert Breer on now. He's MMQB's Albert Breer. How long was the run today, Albert?
You guys got me on a really weird morning. I woke up at 5 a.m. to a slew of texts. Heard about a flight getting canceled this morning.
Right.
And, so spent a few hours reporting and then, take my kids to my middle son to the bus stop in the morning. So I got a quick 20-minute Peloton workout in and then brought my son Drew down to the bus, and now I'm here with you guys. So it's been a little hectic.
What's the next job that'll get filled, head coaching job, you think?
The Titans have done a lot of work. They're the ones that are in position to execute something now because they have all the rules fulfilled so they can make a hire. I think the possibility exists that Kevin Stefanski winds up there because I think they would err on the side of experience. And Kevin obviously has a lot of experience. But, they were in full recruitment mode on John Harbaugh. So now, they'll go ahead and pivot. And, so I think that's one that's relatively far down the line. My sense is the Falcons might hire a coach before they hire a GM, but that's sort of a moving target. They're further down the line with some of their coach candidates. And then I think the other ones, Cleveland's wide open. I think Miami's relatively wide open now. Arizona, the Raiders are wide open, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. And, then of course you got the two big ones, the Steelers and the Ravens. And I think, what's interesting about those two is, how do I put this? I think both those teams, if they want to take it, have opportunities to take massive swings. And that generally hasn't been their way to do that. They've generally kind of gone out and found their own guys. It's the history of those two franchises. But those jobs are so attractive that, I think they'd have the ability to go get somebody who might not be on the market for other teams.
There are reports, Albert, about a certain number of things that Harbaugh wanted to have. The $20 million salary, $10 million for his assistants. I read that. Total control over the roster. Do you think those things are happening with him with the Giants, or do you think those were just inflated reports?
Yeah, I can't say for sure, exactly. They're still working on the deal, right?
Right.
So, what I can tell you is I think there were things that were more important to him than just that. Organizational alignment is the number one thing. I know that's sort of a buzz term and everything else, but I think going to a place where he would have people who shared his vision and people who were able to carry out that vision. And that means evaluating players. It also means doing things in sports science and analytics. And, the Ravens were the Ravens are one of the more built out organizations in all of sports. And so, what he's used to, for example, a lot of teams will farm out analytics and they'll have a couple analytics guys, but then they'll subscribe to all the different services. The Ravens have their own proprietary in-house system, and so I think things like that, having that vision, and then that brings you to the second point, which is a commitment, and I think just a commitment from ownership that winning is the most important thing. And I think this is where the Giants probably connected with him most, right? Is that this isn't one of John Mara's businesses. And Bobby, you can speak to this. This is their family business, he doesn't have 6 other businesses that are taking up his time and he's coming in on a helicopter on Tuesday. That family, they're in the building every day, And to me, that's an area where I think John Harbaugh could really probably connect with them, and knowing that the owners are in it with him and the owners so badly want to win, and, I would bet that that's an area where when he was doing all of his research, looking at that probably really appealed to him.
Yeah, it's very interesting you mentioned that. And that's one thing I think that people don't really realize. And we were talking earlier, what set the Giants apart? Was it New York, the flagship, the brand of the Giants? Well, the brand of the Giants, as you mentioned, Albert, is really tied into the Mara family and how they run things, how they operate stuff, and how they're very thorough in what they do. And winning is paramount to them. Where you may have heard Jerry Jones saying, controversy is important for us. The Giants, that's not important to them. They would rather just win and not be on the back pages and have everything else going on. Obviously in New York, because that's where they're king already. As you look at some of the games this weekend that are coming up, and by the way, some of the scheduling going to the Monday night now and then going to Saturday night. The NFL, my dad always would bring me up the line, fair's got nothing to do with it. Deserving's got nothing to do with it. But teams operate on these short weeks now in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Is that something that's discussed at all? Do teams get upset about that now?
Yeah, I can tell you the football people with the 49ers aren't very happy right now, because they're looking at their situation and they're saying, and look at the NFC playoffs, right? So the Rams and Bears both play on Saturday of last weekend. They're both now playing on Sunday of this weekend. And then the Niners draw the Saturday game, even though they played on Sunday, and they were coming back from the East Coast and they have to travel again. And for people who don't know, the Niners got in, how this works. People don't know how this works. The Niners got back to California at 2:30 in the morning on Monday.
Yeah.
So that takes a chunk out of you too, And so and they're playing against a Seattle team that's coming off a bye. So, and why does that happen? It happens because of television. It's because TV wants the Chicago-LA game in the best broadcast window they can possibly put it because it's Chicago and LA. So, and then I think the other interesting one to point to is New England and Houston, where Nico Collins and Christian Gonzalez. Christian Gonzalez could be on Nico Collins in this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they both suffer concussions. And Christian Gonzalez played on Sunday. Nico Collins played on Monday. If you know how this stuff works, that very well could be the difference between one playing and the other not. So this is something that I feel like it created a lot of discussion over the last 5 to 10 years. And then last year, 2024, they really kind of threw all of it out the window. And you saw them starting to schedule teams for multiple Thursdays, and you had the games on Christmas on a Wednesday. And so I just think it's gotten to the point where the television deals, there's so much money at stake, and they're so focused on pleasing the networks that it's almost like to the players, the coaches, the football people, yeah, just take your money and shut up. You know what I mean? It kind of feels that way because it's like I'll put it this way to you too. I'm a little long-winded with this one, I know, but this is the way you want to look at it. So 15 years ago, the different broadcast contracts were sort of tiered, right? So NBC, I believe, was the most expensive one. Then in the next tier, you had, the CBS and Fox deals. Then below that, you had the ESPN deal. And then the Thursday games were kind of on, half of them were on NFL Network. Some of them were on Fox, right? So there was different tiers. So they could go to ESPN and say, well, of course you got a worse package. Of course you got a worse package. You're not paying as much as NBC is. Well, in the last set of broadcast deals, the price points rose to the point where everything is relatively even now, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? So now they can't go to Amazon or ESPN and say, well, tough luck. NBC paid more than you did. The prices aren't that different. And they're both and they're all paying exorbitant money. And the owners want that money to keep coming in. They don't want somebody to get a bad schedule and be like, the hell with that. That wasn't worth it. They have to pull them back into the tent for the next set of negotiations. So I think that's really the genesis of it if you want to get into the nitty gritty of it. And sorry for anybody who turned the show off if that was boring anyone.
I don't think they did that, Albert. I think you're fine there.
That's broadcast business stuff, so I don't know.
It matters.
I don't know how interested people are in that.
If you care about those teams, though, and you're a Niners fan, you're like, we're getting screwed here. People don't realize, flying back, getting in at 2:30, that probably functionally puts you at your house at about 4:30 in the morning in San Francisco. By the time you unload,
right,
bus where you need to get in a car, get there, your Tuesday's gone. And now you're in Wednesday, which is your first real day of preparation. So you get really no functional off day at that point. And that's, you talk about competitive advantages and this and that. I love the Niners, and I think that they have a chance to upset Seattle. But, that's a big pull now. And speaking of this, and I would like to do some research on this at some point. Maybe you have teams coming up, with home field, the chances of them getting upset versus division opponents versus non-division opponents. Because I feel like if you've played there consistently, Seattle can be overwhelming, Albert, if you've never been there. But if you're San Francisco and you play there every year, you know exactly what you're getting into, and you don't necessarily have that sticker shock when you get there. So I don't necessarily think that the Niners, outside of the traveling, are at as big a deficit as maybe some people might believe.
And the preparation too for the coaches and staff,
yeah,
right? And that you I think you at least have a baseline where you're not starting from zero, right? Where if you're playing an opponent you haven't played, then you really are you're scrambling to catch up. You're watching tape on the plane, which they're doing anyway, but you're really trying to do your best to see everything you see. For example, in a similar situation, Houston, D'Amico Ryans and that staff, I guarantee, they had to probably go right into preparation mode because they didn't play the Patriots this year,
Yeah.
on that Monday flight home from Pittsburgh to Houston. And, so there is some background there. And they did play him twice. They beat him in Seattle in the opener. Seattle's really freaking good. You know what I mean? Like, that's the other part of it. But there is the experience of having been up there, having made that trip. A lot of times, as you know, Bobby, teams will stay in the same hotel to try to create normalcy if they're going to a place for the second time. I think the Niners go up there like a confident group because of everything they've accomplished this year. They've withstood so much. You know what I mean? Like, when you look at the amount of guys that were on their team a year ago that aren't there anymore, either because they left in free agency, they were traded, or they're hurt, is unbelievable, right? So they've withstood a lot, but this is definitely a test. And, I would say the familiarity does help.
Albert, looking at I did a little bit of a dive on the 8 teams that are left in the NFL playoffs, and I felt like that this probably is more important for Josh Allen to win a title this year than any other individual, coach, player, executive, whatever. Who's second? Who else?
I think there was honestly, I think there was a tremendous amount of pressure on everybody with the Bills last weekend to win that game.
Yeah.
I just think, like, even though as good as Jacksonville is and going to Jacksonville, I think that would have been tough luck. Like, if in the year that, and it has nothing to do with the Jaguars, it was more in the year that Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and of course Patrick Mahomes aren't in the AFC bracket, you lose in the first round. That doesn't look great. So, there's, I think, continued pressure on Buffalo to take advantage of the opportunity that's sitting there right in front of them. I think the Rams, just because I look at the other teams, like New England and Chicago, first-year coaches. I think to some degree, and look, these all count, and I'm not saying you wouldn't be disappointed if you lost, but I think to some degree, like, a Chicago or a New England is playing with house money. Like, it sort of feels like they're at the beginning of something, not the end of it, Seattle is a team on the way up. San Francisco's got all the injuries. Denver, I think maybe there's a little pressure on them because the opportunity that's in front of them is the number 1 seed. But I think, the Rams, because of what they have now and because you don't know how much longer you're going to have Matthew Stafford, And for Matthew, I look at this as like, this is an opportunity to, I don't vote on the Hall of Fame. I don't have a Hall of Fame vote. Maybe someday I will, but I don't now. I would say, I'd be interested to hear your guys' perspective on this. I think if he wins the league MVP in a Super Bowl this year, he probably sails into Canton, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, and these things count. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, the Hall of Fame, I think, is sort of, it could be on the line for Matthew Stafford over the next 3 weeks. And, like, the opportunity to win with this group of players, not saying like the Rams don't have a future, because there's a lot of young talent on that team. But, once your quarterback walks away, and we all know what he's been through physically, you're sort of walking into an unknown.
Yeah.
So I think every opportunity that you have with Matthew Stafford at the trigger is precious. And so I think that puts a little bit of that sort of pressure that's on the Bills and the Rams, although the Rams have won. So I guess it's a little different than with Buffalo.
Would you, if you had a Hall of Fame vote, would you put Eddie George, would you pine for Eddie George?
That's a great question. I have to look at that. I always have a ton of respect for the people who put, like, I know some of the guys who, one of the guys who is like a mentor for me, Rick Gosselin, was, is on the Hall of Fame committee. And, I know how much work he puts into it. Peter King, another one, like that obviously has helped me a lot. And I know how much work those guys put into it. So I'd really have to kind of dive in and see how he matches up against his peers. You know what, though? I would think about it, because my barometer for Hall of Fame, I've always had this in my head, right? I think you have to be an elite player at your position for an extended period of time. That would be my barometer. So in other words, like, I wouldn't put in like a guy who, as good as some of these guys are, who just compiled stats, right? Like, I think like the bar should be, you have to be an elite player, like a top 5 player at your position for an extended period of time. And Eddie was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie was so important. Like, Eddie was, to me, like Eddie was to the Titans what Derrick Henry is to the Ravens or was to the Titans before that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like or what Saquon Barkley was last year to the Eagles. Like Eddie was, and I'm not taking anything away from Steve McNair, but my memory of those Titans teams was like how tough and physical and rugged they were. And Eddie was the engine of all of that. So like, I think he's got a case, and they were really good too. I mean, they went to a Super Bowl. They were one of the top teams in the league for probably 5 years while he was there, And so, yeah, I mean, I think Eddie's got a case.
All right, is
that like is that like a crusade of yours, Tito?
Yes, it is. I contend that if Dyson gets in the end zone and they win that game, he's Super Bowl MVP. Eddie is, and he's in the Hall of Fame. So he can't be a yard short to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting argument. I mean, I think running back's one of those positions too. I'd say like running back and receiver are the two positions where the numbers have changed so much over the years that it's hard to compare eras, But I mean, he was definitely one of the 5 best backs in football for an extended period of time, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, he was in that category.
He was up there. I mean, his era would have been. So I'm just thinking now, his era would have been what, like Marshall Faulk, Terrell Davis.
Was it Priest Holmes? Then
Priest. Well, this is a little. Priest Holmes
was later than that.
I think Priest Holmes was like a little after that.
Okay.
Maybe no. Priest Holmes was in there. Yeah,
Okay.
Priest Holmes was in there. Like I feel like Priest Holmes was like 02, right in there. Jamal Lewis.
Lewis. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Jamal Lewis would have been in that era. So
that
was the back end for Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, back end of Emmett, back end of Barry, like those guys. He was first team All Pro once, second team All Pro once. Made 4 or 5 Pro Bowls there. So
see, that's surprising. I would have thought he would have been All Pro more than that.
Yeah, and that's where you have to go back and look at the list to see who made it. And that's what's always interesting to me, because I'm with you on that, Albert, when you start coming to some of those awards. Before we get you out of here, I mean, we were Zach Taylor firing away from a whole division getting wiped out with head coaches, which I don't know if that's ever happened.
Yeah, Zach Taylor is the only coach in the AFC North right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's wild to think. And it wasn't like he was exactly on sure footing. I mean, if it wasn't Cincinnati, he probably would have been fired. But looking at the Browns' job with Stefanski gone, who do you kind of see as the natural fit as someone that could maybe take that job?
I mean, I wonder if they'd give it to Jim Schwartz. Like I don't know. I think it's interesting because I think they were reluctant to fire Kevin,
Mm-hmm.
and that tells me they don't think that things were that far off. And like the way that they were able to develop young defensive players there in, Carson Schlesinger, I can say it now. I mean, Carson Schlesinger was first team All Pro for me. And I didn't honestly, when I called coaches and scouts, I didn't get much of an argument on that, So, I think Jim Schwartz is in the running for it. They met with Mike McDaniel. I don't know if that's the fit, but they met with Mike McDaniel the other day. And I think I think Mike did a good job there. I just look at their list, and they've been so outside the box too. Bringing in Dan Pitcher, the Bengals offensive coordinator, bringing in Aiden Durde, the Seahawks defensive coordinator. Which, by the way, I'm kind of I like Aiden too, but I'm kind of for that because it would be cool to have an NFL head coach with a British accent. I think a British accent makes you sound about 20% smarter. I don't know if you guys are with me on that, but. But yeah, I you do get the sense that they're thinking outside the box. They like the coordinators they have, and Schwartz and Reese, and I think they're trying to find a way to thread this needle. This is my sense, to thread this needle with we finally got a good group of young players that we like that developed last year. We've got a really good defense. How do we build on that? And I mean, they've taken their time and going through the process and everything else like most of these other teams have. It'll be interesting to see what's next.
Albert, we've got a group of Hall of Fame chatters, and they always, when you're on, for instance, one of them just said, let him know how much we appreciate his time, and your NIL speech last week was great. Someone else also commented, you have the best camera setup of all of our guests. So you can hang your hat on that, add it to your
I worked
LinkedIn.
on this one, actually. That's a shout out to my contractor, Alex Hazelton, who did an awesome job on my basement. And,
right.
Yeah, I mean, I got 2 Buckeye helmets back there now. So shout out to the equipment guys at the Woody too for hooking that up.
Are they always there? You don't change them for different shows, right? Like you keep those that static.
This one I like. This is a good one here. So this one's got the bumpers and everything on it.
Right.
So
yeah.
So there you go. But no, I don't change them. I mean, I have the Senior Bowl at my high school back there, Lincoln Sudbury. So if anybody wants to send me any, I'm open to a rotation.
See, don't say that now because we get your address out to people. You're going to get bombarded. We appreciate it. You'll get something from like East Canton High School that want you to put up there. Thanks for the time.
You know what? Like half my friends from college are from Upper Arlington. I know Bobby lives there now, and I know how they feel about their hometown. So I'll probably have 5 helmets in the mail to me
at least. Thanks, Al. We appreciate it. We'll talk again next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
MMQB's Albert Breer. Always love talking to him. We'll do NFL picks, and we will totally, Brody, switch gears and bring on your highness. We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
Hey, everybody. It's Berm here. Jeremy Birmingham from the Austin and Berm Show on 97.1 The Fan. Listen, if you told me 4 weeks ago that I'd have lost 27 pounds, I would have asked you if I lost a limb. But here I am, 27 pounds down in 4 weeks, and all my limbs intact, thanks to Awaken 180. Where'd that weight come from? My waist. I'm already down 3 notches on my belt. My face, yeah, I can see my jawline. That's pretty cool. You don't gain 27 pounds in a week, so you don't really notice when the weight creeps on. But if you drop it quick, doing it the healthy way, you can watch 3, 5, or even 15 years of weight gain disappear just like that. The Awaken 180 app keeps me on track, and my coach, Mandy, ensures the weight keeps dropping off. But the results on the scale are the true motivation. I'm becoming a new me, and don't miss the old me or my approach to food and health. Well, maybe cheese on a burger, but that'll be back as soon as I'm on the maintenance part of the plan. That's the thing. You give up a tiny amount, in return, you get everything. Do what we all did and make your 180 with Awaken 180. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Some journeys start small, with small pause and big purpose.
Look how little you are, you sweet girl.
Every great partnership begins with the first step.
Bella, let's go.
Guiding them through the world so one day they can guide someone through life. With shared experience, confidence grows, and the path becomes clear. It takes time, patience, and love. But the reward lasts a lifetime.
Hey, good girl, Bella.
You don't just raise a puppy. You raise a future. Become a Dogs Inc. puppy raiser. Give a dog a purpose. Give someone hope.
Learn more at dogsinc.org.
What does it mean to give 100%? It means giving everything you've got, every single day. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. So no matter what you give, we give 100% for life-saving research victories, 100% to making new discoveries that lead to innovative treatments, 100% to groundbreaking cancer research that could one day save someone you love. We know cancer research is working. Over the last 30 years, an estimated 4.5 million lives have been saved thanks to game-changing research breakthroughs. But there is more work to do. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. We will always give 100% to accelerate victory over cancer.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate today at v.org.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Time for this guy now.
Morning Juice presents NFL Picks.
Sponsored by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences, tickets, sideline passes, trips to a first-round postseason game, and more. Register today at roosterswings.com.
He's your highness. Good early morning for you, my friend. We're going to do the NFL Picks here. You can give us your take on each game as well if you want to do that. You down for that?
Yeah, real quick, Bobby put out in the universe that he needed to know a little data point. He needed to know divisional versus non-divisional teams in the playoffs. Well, guess what, Bobby? I got your answer right here, sir. Home teams versus in division in the playoffs win 54% of those games. Non-division opponents, the home team wins 67% of those
There you
games.
go.
So that's a pretty big difference.
Yeah.
So San Francisco might fare well in division there. But anyways, to all those in the 614, good morning. Let's get it going, baby.
All right, Bodie.
All right, Tito. Last week you were 3-5. Carp
don't need to do
6-2.
Yeah, I like that.
We don't
I
need to
got
announce
screwed by the freaking Packers, or I would have been even better.
You're starting to run. It's getting late early here, Tito. Well, I guess not. We only got a couple weeks left.
Yeah.
But you are 128, 146, and 6 on the year. Carp 136, 138, and 6. So,
Get above 500.
Tito, you're
I got to run the table now.
8 games back
Yes,
with
8 to play, right?
how many
we got-
games
we got
got
these
here?
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Then we got the 2
6, 7,
championship
8.
games, Super
Yeah.
Bowl. I've
Yeah.
got to go
So
8
you
now.
gotta- yeah, unless you want to add the Pro Bowl in. That way
Well,
we don't have a tie.
Yeah,
the-
Tito's going to need the Pro Bowl to make a comeback here.
I don't know if there's any more. The senior all-star games, right? We can do some of those too, right? Old East-West.
All right, guys. Saturday afternoon at approximately 4:30 in Denver. The Bills are on the road against the Broncos. Denver just 1.5-point favorites, Tito.
Oh, you make me go first? Because if he just says the same
I'm
thing I
gonna
say.
pick. Oh, that's. You think that's how I got to 6-2 last
That's
week.
what it was, Bob. You going to pick, Bob? You go
Okay,
first.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Oh goodness, it's tough for me to go against Sean Payton, but this seems like they got a little bit of Josh Allen magic going on, and I'm going to take the experience of the veteran quarterback in this scenario, even being on the road. I'm going to lay the 1.5. But you won't fire that music up.
Oh yeah, sorry. I always forget that.
That's all right.
My bad.
I'll
Come
take.
on, Brody. Let's go, baby.
Give me the Bills getting a 1.5. Where you at on this one, Your Highness?
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. The week after the Super Bowl is the Chinese New Year, and we talked about this. It's the year of the horse. That is a Bronco. Broncos win the
There we
Super Bowl.
go.
Pick them every
I love it.
game. Let's go. Broncos win the Super Bowl. Let's go.
Okay, Saturday night, NFC West affairs. The 49ers visit the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle favored by 7.
Well,
Tito or Bob.
I'll
whoever's
go
going
first.
I
Thanks,
don't know.
thanks to our guy Your Highness who gave me the data. 67% of the time the home team wins versus non-division. In-division opponents, 54. I mean, that's not an insignificant number. And you're going to give me 7 points. I'm going to take the Niners.
I'm going to lay this. I'm going to lay the 7. I think the Seahawks. I think they are healthier. I think the Kittle thing's a big deal for the Niners. Give me the Seahawks and lay the points. Your Highness.
Yeah, I got this on the other side of 7. I got 6.5 because I like to cheat. But the Seahawks, I don't care about the in-division thing. They don't have to worry about Kittle. I think Sam Darnold just chucks the ball up and down the field. Give me 330 yards passing for Sam Darnold.
Wow.
Seahawks covering 7 points.
All right, Sunday afternoon, the Texans are on the road against the Pats. New England favored by 7, Bob.
Gosh, it's tough, man.
It's
My
not
boy-
7, is it?
It's 3.
3.
Or 3,
My,
sorry.
my boy Vrabes
Did I
up
say
there.
7? Meant 3.
What they're doing, they look good. They had a pretty soft schedule this year. How much does that matter? They got a nice win. Not maybe the most offensive, explosive game you're going to find. Texans defense looks good. And sounds like Captain America's coming for this. So I'm going to roll with the Texans here. Give me the 3.
I will lay the 3. Unlike you, I believe in your boy Vrabes. I'll take the Patriots and lay the 3 points. Your Highness.
Yeah, C.J. Stroud was saying Mayday last week because the ball ended up on the ground. Now he's going to say Mayday because Drake May is going to just put it to him. Give me the Patriots and the points.
All right, Sunday evening, last game in the NFL divisional round here. Rams on the road against the Bears, but LA is favored by 3.5 in Chicago, Carp.
Gosh, I'd like this a lot more if it was a solid 3. That hook scares me a little bit. But since we're rolling with QBs, I'm rolling with Matty Stafford in this situation. Wind, cold, none of that matters. He's got the best arm out there. And I think that this Rams team is a veteran squad. They've been there before.
I think the Rams win by a field goal. The hook is what's going to lead me over to Chicago. I'll take the the north side. Chicago, the north side. Is it where the Bears play?
Well, that's where they will play.
I got you. Give me the Bears on this one. Your Highness.
Speaking about Hook, it was a great movie, Peter Pan movie, and there's
Yes.
a line from that movie. It says, "Go home, Jack, go home." We're taking all the home teams this week. Give me the Bears to win outright. Let's go.
I don't want to correct you, but I'm going to. First of all, it was run
Yeah,
home,
let's go.
Jack. Remember, because they switched to
I
home run.
I thought you didn't know movies. I thought you were supposed to be the
I
person
know
that
kids'
didn't
movies. I know Hook. Hook with Robin Williams. Yes, they were doing Run Home Jack, and they just switched it around to Home Run Jack.
Well, there you go. Anyways, give me all the home teams to win this week.
Right.
Let's go.
Oh,
Yeah, one more home team. Here we go.
When your Highness said Hook, I wasn't sure.
You weren't sure?
I thought
It was a different movie. It wasn't that kind of movie. It was a different movie.
Monday night.
PG, baby.
The national championship is on the line down in South Florida. The Canes sort of basically host.
Yes.
The Indiana Hoosiers. Big number here at Carp. 8.5 for Indiana favored.
It is huge. Gosh, it's 7.5. I liked it a lot more. How much better do I think Miami's better than Oregon is the question. And if so, how much?
Hard not to be at least a little bit better than that semifinal game.
I mean, they were the 5th-ranked team in the country.
That's true.
Gosh, that's a big number to lay.
Brody went through puberty, by the way, on that little thing. That's true.
I'm going to I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I'm going to lay those points. I don't feel good about it. I probably wouldn't bet this game at this number. 7.5. I'd probably tease it to 7 and take in my Indiana, but been riding the Hoosiers here the last 3 weeks. Why get off them now?
So you're laying the 8.5.
Yep.
I think the Canes are rounding into form. They're playing their best football right now. I love getting 8.5. I think Indiana wins, but I will take the 8.5 points. Your Highness?
Not so fast. So here's a little tidbit. Before the Oregon-Indiana game, you could bet on the Miami versus whoever. The line was 5.5 with Indiana. We jumped on that. Oregon would have been minus 3.5. Okay? So here's the deal. Indiana's good up to 9.5.
Okay.
Miami doesn't score more than about 13 to 17 points. Indiana will be in the high 20s, low 30s. I think they cover up to 10 points, no problem. I think I'd lean slightly under. Game should finish somewhere in the low 40s. But there's only one statistical category that Miami belongs on the same field, and that is going to be explosive plays. If we're matching up running or defense, Indiana is on a whole different level. So I tier things. Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana, some of those teams were in Tier 1. Miami was a Tier 3 team. They've been playing over their head. Frankly, they've been getting lucky with some of the matchups. The run ends now. Mendoza is, I don't know what it factor is. I don't know what it is. When Michigan won, when Ohio State won, they had it that year. Indiana has it. Kurt Signetti, Coach of the Year, Team of the Year, incredible story. Give it to him. Let's go.
Did you smack a prop? What did we hear? What was the ting? Was that like something you do where it's like, I feel really good about this? You smacked it?
What did I do?
We heard a ting, like something you hit with your hand.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
I knew it was a prop. I wasn't sure if it was something.
It wasn't intentional. No, hey, I'll get out the gong show. Let's go. Bing!
Yes. WeWinYouWin.com is where you can go. Tell us about the Super Bowl squares.
Yeah, so right now, Super Bowl squares are on sale at $60 a square. We're giving $10 to the Jacksonville Boosters organization down in Jacksonville, Florida. They take underprivileged families and fund their children's sporting events, football pads, soccer cleats, baseball, etc. Right now, if you sign up before the 18th, you get entered into our side contest where you can win up to $600 real quick. It's called Battleship. We eliminate the rows and columns that get hit by squares. If you're in one of those naked squares that don't ever get touched or hit, you got a chance to win $600. You get entered in that for free if you enter before the 18th. Otherwise, it's good until it fills. It will fill probably the week leading up to the Super Bowl. So
it's good.
Anyways, WeWinYouWin.com. Live shows on Facebook Wednesday and Monday. We've been on an absolute tear, by the way. So if you want to jump on a right foot and do the wrong thing, now is the time to join. $100 bettors should be up around $2,700 this week alone.
Look at this. Turn 100 into a
That's
million.
Just straight bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, we're on step 2. So I got 16 steps to become a millionaire. We're on step 2. Stick with me. We'll be all right. Head over to YouTube, Shut Up and Bet, and you can follow along as well.
Thanks, brother. We appreciate it. We'll talk next week.
Until next time, get in where you fit in. I'm out.
All right.
Tell your grandma I said hi, Your Highness.
Coming up next, we'll wrap things up. Tell you we got us juiced. Morning Juice.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
We ask parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad, and I feel very proud to be his son.
That was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. And you think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a Bright Focus Foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
If you're looking for the inside scoop on the Buckeyes, you've come to the right place. This is Morning Juice.
Zoo reviews in the chat. Says the arc from me thinking, who is this joker? Is he someone's cousin or brother-in-law? To being genuinely excited for the Your Highness segment is legendary.
It's really, his character arc has really come full circle.
It's been, yeah.
Because at the beginning,
we weren't sure. We were like, I don't know about this guy.
Here's the thing. His information is actually really good.
Right.
His delivery mechanism, the vessel that it's in, might be a little bit
unique
at times. That's a good term for it, Brody. I was trying to pick the perfect one. Unique. But his information, the fact he was able to pull out the percentage of division winner versus non-division winner upsets for home teams, the fact that he has all the tiers, the numbers are the numbers. So my man may go by Your Highness, but, he might be Rain Man.
See, and then on the same, like the next text, Bob, the next message after this was from a guy named Joe. He said, please get rid of Your Highness as a guest.
Dude,
I think if that was
not
our
every
poll,
guest is going to hit.
I know. I think if that was a poll, though, I would think about 90% of our listeners love Your Highness.
There's a lot of people I know that don't like him.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard that, but I find him entertaining. The thing is, there's people that I don't like, that I didn't like, but I've slowly I've changed my expectation about what they are, and so I've begun to enjoy them. Then, like I never liked sushi. Never had any desire to eat raw fish. I started eating it. I'm like, all right, people do this, okay. And now I enjoy it. And it's not even comparable to eating a steak for me, but I just accept it for what it is. And there's other people who like to do it, and I'm like, you know what? This is enjoyable in its own unique way.
Yeah.
Kind of like Your Highness.
Yeah.
Tell your grandma I said hi.
Inadvertently, just organically it happens that we go from Breer to Your Highness, which is totally different spectrums. When you've got the young, professional-looking, professional-sounding Albert Breer, and then we go from him to a guy in Arizona. It's early in the morning there. Who
or
probably
late at night.
He probably more late at night, hasn't been to bed yet. And I have found out most times he hasn't gone to bed. He takes a nap after our segment and then gets up again.
Jeez. That's just a grinder, and I can respect that.
But for someone to get something,
somebody that is so dedicated to the craft, I can appreciate that.
Breer's up with a workout already in. Like, his day is, you could tell, like, he's already been up for a couple hours.
He's married, has 3 kids, if I'm not mistaken there. Your Highness. I mean, he may, who knows what's going on out there.
All right, let's tell people Scott's juiced.
What's got you juiced?
You know what? I'm starting to wonder if we should start keeping Your Highness on to find out what's got him juiced also. That might be. And we have
I
a
don't
dump
want to get
button.
him in trouble.
No, we got a dump button now, but I'm saying.
We will have to find a way to sneak him in because our picks is going to be done.
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah, we can't. We got to find a way to, yes. All right, it's, what day is it? It's Thursday. What's Schleg's got to say?
I totally forgot it was Anthony on Anthony crime.
Yes, it was Tony on Tony crime.
I think we listened to that one yesterday.
That was yesterday also. That's
2
okay.
days in a row I
That's
botched
all right.
this. All right, you guys will have to give me a second. I have to load it into the setup. What does have me juiced, though, guys, maybe a little negative juice energy. First off, the cold is starting to just break me. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not a cold weather person. I kind of hate every single second of it. I could live somewhere where it's 80 and sunny all the time. And as we start to hit this mid-January stretch, and I walked outside this morning, and I don't know if it's just the surrounding area or the way my apartment building faces or what, but the gap between my building and the one that it's like connected to and the stairwell between it is just a wind tunnel of all wind tunnels. And it just smacks you in the face at 3:30. I'm not going to lie to you. It was cold. I wasn't happy about it, and I'm very much over it. But what does have me juiced? First off, Thursday, second best day of the work week, so almost Friday, almost here. And a little movie recommendation for you, if you will. I started this movie like a week ago, fell asleep at night, finally got around to finishing it last night, but it's on Netflix. Hitman with Glenn Powell.
Okay.
It's pretty good. It's entertaining. Takes quite a turn. Not necessarily like Shutter Island type turn, but you're kind of watching it. It's like, oh, this is fun, interesting. Glenn Powell's great, so anything he's in is pretty good. And then it takes kind of a spin at the end. You're like, oh, okay, but a little fun action flick there for you. I think it's only a couple hours long if you want to check that out. So that was fun. And now let's hear what Mr. Anthony Schlegel had to say.
You guys are talking about $10 million. And now I spit out my nicotine on the floor. Nick, I got it. Nick, move out the way. Spit out my nicotine. Hey, how you guys doing?
Who are Justin and Nick?
They're master degree programs in kinesiology at Ohio State, working with Dr. Dickel, sports science.
Dr. Dan.
Dr. Dan Dickel, the man, the myth, the legend. But, you're saying, hey, man, science is great. Training is greater. You got to know. You got to know.
There you go. And last but not least, we did talk about this earlier, but Bob, what do you say? 20th overall pick in the NFL draft that Dallas Cowboys select? Sonny Styles, linebacker.
Alex?
The Ohio State. Is that his first name?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think. I did see, Ohio State put something out not too long ago where they're like, do you know his first name? And I don't even think anybody knew it. But I don't think I ever have heard him called anything but Sonny. But that all has me juiced, sir. What's got you juiced today?
Yeah, it's a Thursday here. Excited about that. Should be one day closer to the weekend. That's got me juiced up. And my uncle's been in town. It's been good to see him. Him and my mom stopped by yesterday, which was a lot of fun. Got some of our spring break travel booked yesterday. And good news is, too, we started already booking some of our June lacrosse hotels. That was, that's exciting.
Fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun getting that done. Stuff over in Philadelphia and Jersey. Those are the drives that you're looking for. Places you want to be in June, spending my weekends out there. So not all that juice, but I am glad I got all that done, trying to do it in the most efficient and economically manageable way possible. And I forgot I had one free night stay at a Marriott, so that saved me a little bit of cash on that. So that had me juiced as well. And yeah, walking outside today, Bodie, this cold weather, I'm thinking, you know what? It's middle of January. We got about 6 weeks left of this. Usually we start getting some warm days in March, and yeah, it'll get cold intermittently again. But we're not all that far away. We made it through a lot. It started out really cold in December, had that big snow. It's been pretty nice for the last week. Can't really complain too much. Yesterday, I'm not going to walk outside without a coat. So, got to take the L today. Like my kids say, take the L, Dad. So we're going to take the L, and we're going to keep moving forward.
Even light
even
at
if
the
it's
end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
It's dim, but
it might be a train. We're not sure.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out when we get there. Thitoff, what's got you juiced?
What'd you say Sonny's first name was?
Alex.
Yeah, I'd never heard that either, Brody. I'm with you. I was just
even going back to high school,
right?
You
Yeah,
know, sometimes like guys will get into college, and
Right.
it's like actually I kind of go by this, and then it like starts to take over from there. But in high school, I never heard him anything other than Sonny.
Basketball practice last night.
How'd you do? This is great. Let's give us the breakdown here.
Well, my son was pretty much a DNP. He wasn't happy with the way I was running practice. And I'm not going to embarrass him in front of his friends, but
Why not? You're the coach.
I know, Bob, but
Dude, there's a pattern of this where he kind of gets to do what he wants, and then there's no repercussion for it, and then you keep constantly ask, like, well, how come he listens to you so well? Because I lay out the expectations of what's going to happen.
So I'm toying with how to handle it Saturday, because I'm coaching the game Saturday. I'm the head coach Saturday, and I've thought about my team is on the floor and just have him sit there, but it's all right. Anyway, practice last
it's
night.
Going from like your other coach to you, that might be like going from Phil Jackson to who's the old boy that coached the Cavs who's Israeli?
David Blatt.
That's fair. Yeah, you're right. That's probably fair, Bob. I make no bones about it. Bob, my greatest attribute in any sport as any kind of coach is nothing more than timekeeping and letting the head coach know when there's like too many fouls on a kid, or if we have 2 timeouts left.
Have you ever aspired to be more?
Not with that, I don't, Bob. I'm not. I don't. And
you're honest.
I've told people this when I've coached basketball before. I used to be assistant coach way back in the early 2000s.
Assistant to the coach.
Yeah, assistant to the coach. And I was the scorekeeper. You don't want to send them down to the other end of the court and say, hey, Tito, show them how to shoot. You don't want to see that, okay? Because I don't have great form. Do you feel confident? I know football's one thing for you, but do you feel confident in coaching basketball as well?
I've been coaching basketball for the last 4 years. There's a handful of sports that I feel like I could coach pretty well.
Yeah.
Especially up through 6th grade. We start getting into other areas. You cross like a point where you're like middle school and up. Maybe not then, but there's probably 3 or 4 sports that I feel like I could coach just about as well as anybody.
I'm juiced about Saturday too, because I don't.
Is that your chance to shine on the bench?
No, it's not that one. No, I'm talking
you don't
before
wear a
that.
suit.
You know what? Bob,
take a chair, throw it across the court.
I should do that. But Bob, Reds Fest Saturday.
Ooh,
going down there for the fan. Baker's going.
Yeah, here we go.
Tyler's going.
It's good. Get us a lot of Cincinnati Reds sound.
Jen's going.
That's what the people want to hear.
And the fact it looks like if everything goes well, I'll be able to meet Marty Brennaman, the man who I've slept with more than any other person in my life.
I don't know what that means.
What that means is, as a kid growing up, listening to Reds games as I fall asleep. As an adult, listening to old Reds games as I fall asleep. As recently as last night, an old Reds Braves game from 1978.
Tito, that's...
No, I don't stay up and listen to the whole thing. It helps me fall asleep.
People like you.
I understand, but it helps. And by the way, there was one night in my early 20s that after a night out with friends, I did send an email to Marty and Joe and invited them to dinner in Columbus. Never heard back from them. Nonetheless, so it could be awkward a little bit. I'm not going to bring up that story that I've emailed him, but I'm excited about the chance to meet the legend, Marty Brennaman. I don't think we get Francona. We're supposed to be able to get Ellie De La Cruz and talk to him as well.
How's your Spanish?
See, I can't believe you speak English. Yeah, right?
I think a little bit, but
the fact that you don't know if he does probably implies that he probably
maybe.
doesn't a ton.
Arizona Troy says he listens to old Howard Stern shows to fall asleep.
Everybody's got their own thing. Baseball definitely will put me to sleep. So if I'm having a hard time at night,
I think it's not so much having something on in the background.
Right. It's that I choose that.
It's that you choose old games.
It's
kind of like Steve Rogers, that time he woke up after being in the ice for 70 years.
Yeah.
It's like, I was at that game. But hey, man, if it helps you sleep at night, God bless you. It's not.
I need to do a meeting with the 3 people going also, because I'm convinced.
It's the driving situation like.
Oh, no. We're not going to do that on the air, Bob. I'm just saying, though, that I will need somebody to tell me as a guy's walking up, hey, by the way, this right here, this is the Reds center fielder. Whatever.
That's what I'm saying. You wanted to go to this, and then you don't even know who the people are.
Brandon Minton, Ellie De La Cruz, and Tito Francona. Those are the ones I wanted. And Tito and I have got something in common with the nickname thing, so I've got an in right there.
He might be more the original Tito than you.
But I've gotten a lot of mileage out of it, though, because whenever someone cuts up sound, or I hear something, one of the old sports updates we would do, and you'd hear them, and it'd be something like,
we still do them, just not
here
on the HD3.
Right? Yes, not here. And they would say something about Tito, and I'd say, that's the way I feel. Like I would try to own his quotes, his sound, his bits, his bites. I would do all that. So I'm excited about that. That's got me juiced. It'll be a long day Saturday because you're going to leave around 8 o'clock in the morning and get up there and then have to hustle back to coach basketball. We are on a heater. We're 5-2 now in the league there, Bob. We've got the best defense in the league. I just saw stats come across where we've allowed fewer points than any other team in our 9-team league. So I'm not going to take credit for it, but I am going to take a look because I could teach defense. I just can't teach shooting. I can't do that. Nonetheless. Thanks to all the Juicers turning in. Thank you to Albert Breer. Thank you to your Highness. Get us Super Bowl squares. WeWinYouWin.com. You can check all of that out. Tomorrow, I'm hoping we'll have AJ Hawk, Bob. Sound accurate?
We should.
Okay, we got AJ Hawk on. We haven't done
game's not until Monday, so
we haven't done an Ask AJ for a while. We'll get a chance to do that. Start getting your questions ready for that. All the people in the chat really appreciate it. It's been very lively today. Thank you.